Okay, so today we continue with our class of laws of Shabbos. Today is class number 52, and we start with Sefer Chafetz Chaim. The big subject is the same for the subject's benefit. Okay, so let's see. And today's topic is the occasional sinner. The occasional sinner. So let me just swipe. Okay. And it says, if person whose actions may have involved a given transgression is known to commit at a particular sin, at least occasionally, then the commandment judge a fellow favorably does not require that one seek the positive explanation for what he did. However, if it is meritorious to give person the benefit of the doubt and assume that this time he did not sin, reproof would not be necessary. Okay, so basically, if you know that somebody is a Michal Shabbos, that's in simple words what it says, and we saw him like many times driving to somewhere, and now he's like getting into his car. We were not obligated to think so maybe he's going to the hospital to save his son. No, like he's going to the movies basically, right? I mean, they say it is meritorious, but I'm not sure what is the meritorious. In my mind, why do we have to judge him to begin with? I mean, he's going to wherever he's going. Poor guy, he's going to be punished. I mean, why should I have bad feelings against him? Yeah, go ahead.
So my question is like this. Let's say, for example, this happened to me today. Let's say like 7 people, 6 people, you're at a million. They keep Shabbos 100% and so on and so forth. Now, the other 3
okay,
people...
one second. Let him join. Okay. Yes. Or with us. Okay. So could you start your Shalom Aleichem? So
yes.
Let's start your question from the beginning. Sorry.
Yes.
Go ahead.
So let's say you're davening, right? Then yes. You're sure that 6 other people keep Shabbos. We're not sure about the 3 other people, right? So is it better to not daven or then go to another million? Well, a little bit later where you're sure mamish, black and white suits, so on and so forth. These people you're like 100% not sure. It's big risk. I don't even know how they're saying Kaddish, so on and so forth. So which one is better? But they're Rabbanim davening at the same time. So the Rabbanim must know. No, I'm saying that let's say they're Rabbanim davening at the same time. So I assume the Rabbanim are davening because it's a minyan, but I have absolutely no clue. These it doesn't seem like the other 3 people are kosher, but do I judge them favorably or no? And answer Kaddish and if they bring the Sefer Torah, and all of that.
Okay, so if you do not know, you're allowed to stay in this minyan. But if you know for sure, and other people know, like 10 people in general, that they're not obligated to see at the same time. It's a known thing that these people do not observe Shabbos, so you have no right to stay there. Why? Because if you number 10, so because of you, it's your fault. I mean, it's everybody's fault, but you have to see the situation. It's my personal fault that they now going to take the Sefer Torah out. It's my personal fault that they're going to say Kaddish now, and my personal fault somebody is going to say Amen when they were not allowed to say Amen. That's the situation I was in. Like I was going to the shtibel, and they asked me, and they needed people, and they got 1 guy or 2 guys, and I told them those are reformed. They from reform at a temple, wherever Shmempel, right? I said no. He said no, please. They changed the reform temple, closed long time ago. They changed people. They absorbed. I said, please. How do you know? Okay, whatever. So the guy actually pressed me because he was running the shul for a long time, like owner of the shul, basically. So I said, okay, I'm going to come. And sometimes there were 11 people, but sometimes it was exactly 10 people. And one time I just said, I cannot do it. And I just left. And so, of course, I asked my rabbi to to confirm what is the proper way. He said, of course you have no right to be there, but he provided me these sources because of course they attacked me because I was the bad guy. Out of all of this situation, they may blame me that I disrupt the minyan. You understand? I was there first to come, always the last to leave, and they blame me because of this. So, but actually, I did in my mind, in halachically, I did them a big chesed. So I stopped them from praying and taking Sefer Torah, saying Kaddish, answer to Kiddusha.
So
and I had proof. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. So I'll give you two minor situations in that case. Let's say there's a doubt, like some type of doubt, like a serious doubt that these people do keep Shabbos. You're not 100% sure, but there's a doubt.
So if there is a doubt, even serious, so you should stay. Basically, if you're number 10, you should stay. If you're not number 10, you have no right to stay.
But does that doubt also apply? Let's say you're davening at a place, right, where most of the people are, not Shomer Shabbos. So don't you go by the majority?
Stay there. How are you allowed to stay there?
So let's say there are 8 who are Shomer Shabbos. You're not allowed to rely on those 2 because the other majority of people aren't Shomer Shabbos.
No. Not in this case. So you need 10 Shomer Shabbos people, period. The other 120 could be different, could be not Shomer Shabbos, but 10 you see you need the Shomer Shabbos. So my advice, you see, we learn, I think in Kitzur, or if we did not learn, I'm going to tell you right now. So there is a big issue. It says whoever break the minyan, it's a big issue to live in the middle of the davening, big issue. Unless it was in my situation, so I was very, very fired up, right? But basically, don't be there to begin with. You understand? So when you know that in 10 minutes they start, okay, 10 minutes in advance you leave. You're not there. You understand? 15 minutes before, even you in that building, just leave.
So why over here with those 2 other people, right? Why don't we count it as a doubt? Because even though majority don't keep Shabbos, right? Majority of the people around, not the minyan itself. I'm saying, let's say there are 8 people, are Shomer Shabbos, right? In a group, I don't know, shul, right? Where it has a lot of people coming in, a lot of people coming out, so on and so forth. So those other 2 people you're not sure about, right? So, but that's a doubt.
No. If there is a doubt, if it's a doubt, so you can count them. But if you know for sure, you cannot count them. I think that's what I said before. Maybe I misunderstood the last example. I apologize if I confused you. Sorry. So if there is a doubt, so as we said, we're obligated to judge our fellow Jew favorably. For example, I give you an example. So if you go to somebody's house and you know this, you do not know, but you see that this guy comes to shoot down. He comes to learn from time to time. He dress kosher. So him driving out on Shabbat, stuff like that. So you come to his house. You're allowed to eat there. You understand? So you assume that his food is kosher. You can ask questions. You can always ask questions whether you buy your meat and stuff like that. But go ahead.
Do I still assume? Let's say I don't know. Let's say there's no kippah, no tzitzis. I still assume that he keeps Shabbos.
No. It's hard to assume if there is no kippah, no tzitzis. You see, many times people, even who from my experience, right? Some people who do not wear kippah, but they wear tzitzis inside. So it's not easy to say, right?
Right here.
So I
can still assume. I can still assume they keep Shabbos, or
if
Ashkenaz, we'll go Ashkenaz, not Syrians. We'll go.
Okay. So even Ashkenaz. So if you have reasonable some reasons to believe that this person is not Shomer Shabbos, then yes. But if there's no specific reason, just because you have a hunch, you don't like him, you don't like his nose or stuff like that. Just because he wears jeans or whatever, you cannot assume things.
Understood.
So okay, so one more time, unless you, but this guy. So I was telling. So continue with my story. I was telling about this guy, and they said no, you cannot say, but this, but that. Okay, and one morning I walk into shop, and this guy, and I walk in next to his house. So he's pulling in, right? So he just came from a gym, right? He went to the gym before the davening. So and he rolls the window down. He says, "Good Shabbos." I said, "Good Shabbos." I said, "But do you know you're not allowed to drive on Shabbos?" He said, "Yeah, I know." But I said, "But do you know that we cannot call you to the Torah?" I was shocked, basically. That's what first came into my mind. He said, "No, I know. Don't worry. Don't basically stop it." And this guy was late, so that's a bigger issue. You see, there were 11 people. Let's say it's 11 people. Let's say they got 11 people, but he's a Levi. It's only one Levi, so they must call him to the Torah. So I mean, like the whole show will try. I said, "Why you fighting? What is my fault? Why suddenly everybody like make it my personal issue?" Okay, so Baruch Hashem, I brought them sources. Nobody read the sources, but that's the story. Okay, so they say, and the reproof is not necessary. I mean, if he drives on Shabbos, now because you saw him 117th time, you're going to reprove him. Okay, continue. So one more time, if that you know that this person is acting like that, it's actually like as Rabbi Reuven said many times, it's like why there's no mitzvah to be stupid. Like and say maybe this time he does it for a mitzvah. Okay, if you want to be stupid, but basically that's not Jewish way. It is absolutely clear that a person did commit a sin, then the mitzvah is to reprove does apply, and one should, in respectful and caring manner, help the person to overcome the evil inclination by offering reproof. So if you know that he did whatever he did, so you must offer him a reproof in a nice manner. So basically, when we're trying to reprove somebody, our goal to help that person. It's not like I'm trying to prove him that I'm right. If I'm right, it's only about my ego, right? That's not good. It should not be about my ego. It should be because this person, as I am part of the nation of Israel, and I'm responsible for him, and I must help him. That should be the only reason that I'm reproving him. Go ahead.
Let's say you have to reprove a lot of people. Let's say Rabbi Reuven, right? So yeah, a lot of talking. How does someone go from talking a shir for so much, right? Go to like being quiet afterwards because it becomes a habit just to speak. You understand what I'm saying? You want to say something. So how does someone like cancel that out? How does someone, still keep silent afterwards, even though it becomes a habit?
You see, if you're talking about Rabbi Reuven, he does not rebuke specific people, right? So as he always say, so it's like not always, like this morning I was listening to him, right? So he said, so how is it possible that people would come and say, I love your lectures, I love your style, I like this, and they do not change. So he said, how is it possible that you never change, like after so many years? So people listen, they like whatever they hear, but they think that it applies to somebody else, not to them. You understand? And that's the big issue. So, and the person is only going to change whatever, it doesn't matter what you tell him, you will offer him sources, if he wants to change. You understand? If he has no intention to change, he can listen to the hardest Musar ever, or read and then never change. You understand? So it's up to us to offer a view, but person from another side, he has to know that it's only for his best. So if you show him that you care about him, right? So you care, and I'm saying it only for your own interest, for your own best. So only in that situation that person might listen to it. Otherwise, he will not. You understand? Okay, continue. There are many times when it would be more effective for someone else, such a close friend or Rav, to reprove the individual. So, meaning, as we said before, somebody that this person is like holding into to some respect, that he's going to listen to. Maybe it's you, maybe it's not you. So when it's close relatives and they knew like. I'm not talking about the present group, but they knew this guy. Let's say he's 35 years old, right? Let's say, and they knew like for past, I don't know, 15 years, he was like living like an animal. You understand? And now he became a Rabbi Akiva. He became the greatest study, and he tried to help his friends and friends. You were worse than me. What are you talking about, man? You trying to reprove me? Like. So in this case, many times this reproof would not be taken from somebody close. Yeah. It should come from like third party. Like when Rabbi Reuven, for example, they don't know him. They think that he's talking to other bad people. But sometimes a person might think, okay, maybe he's talking about bad people, but I have the same issue. I'm not as bad at but maybe I have to change also. You understand?
What's it called? So when you said you should only give people, let's say, rebuke people if you show them it's your best intention and so on and so forth.
No, it's in their best interest.
Exactly.
So you care about them. Yeah. Okay.
So my question is like this. For example, you were giving this situation about the shul and the reformers, and you gave them proof and so on and so forth, right? Yeah. But what's it called? I doubt that they look like, oh, we understand you're doing it for our sake and so on and so forth, right? Mm-hmm. So why would you give them the papers in that case?
I was okay. So I had to prove what I'm doing actually helping them. So sometimes a doctor has to, I don't know, the dentist has to drill and do root canal, which is painful, and it's going to like all of these things, right? Okay, so it's very painful, but he does it for your best interest. So, but he has to explain to you, I'm doing this because if you don't do it right now, 2 months down the road, a year down the road, it's going to be all of this infection, this and that. It's going to be like a big major surgery. So I wanted to do root canal, whatever, now, and it's going to hurt for a week, for whatever. You have to come back maybe 2 times, but we're going to take care of this forever, basically. I mean, for a long period of time. So that's what I was trying to tell them. I mean, you care about the shul. So in their mind, they have one goal for the shul to be running, and the shul was running from just so we understand from 1921. So this person, the owner of the shul, he's a third generation. He's a grandson of original rabbi who came from Europe and opened that shul. Yeah, you understand? And some of the people, they are old timers, right? For them this shul was life, and now me came and I'm youngster basically, one of the youngest people there. So I'm started teaching them what to do. Yeah, you understand? Now because of me, the shul is going to stop functioning. You understand? So I didn't like this attitude because of me. I said that whatever, I'm always there. I'm always on time. I never skipped one day basically. Never. Like even if I have to go away on vacation, I would let them know like 3 weeks in advance. On these Shabbos, I'm not going to be there. That's it. I mean, so why would you want to blame me? But okay. So, but people sometimes they're so preoccupied, like. With their things, thoughts, they don't care about what you say. Okay, so continue. Okay, so let's say maybe through the close friend or through the Rav. Okay, theoretically, it should be permissible for one who witnesses the transgression to inform the friends or a Rav, or to ask that he handle the situation. Right, and ask that meaning that rabbi of this friend rebuke him and talk to him. However, we have learned that one may not act on hearsay which would mean that one cannot possibly offer a reproof unless he personally witnessed a transgression. Consequently, it would be one's responsibility to find effective means to reprove himself or to ask Rav to either personally investigate the situation or tactfully discuss the matter with the individual without making accusation. So let me try to understand, explain what it says. So the first condition under which you're allowed to talk Lashon Hora, right, is when you try to inform other people, is the first condition that you were the actual witness. So if somebody told you that that's what he saw, right, you're not allowed to believe him. It's on that's what they say. First condition on hearsay. So you must be the actual witness. So they say it's very nice to try to get the Rab involved, but basically it's he's going to go through this hearsay. So first condition is not met. So which is but you can tell Rab, and he can go from other direction. He doesn't have to be that doesn't have to rebuke him specifically for this day, for this sin. Yeah, you understand? So he can go in general things about why don't you keep Shabbos, and I mean not so directly, but indirectly. Okay.
Can I answer the question that I wanted to ask?
Yes. Okay. Ask me the question. Yes.
Okay. The question's like this. Let's say it's a red light, right? And it's 2 lanes. Okay. So you're like, listen. You look at the first lane. Nobody's here on the first lane. So you pass through the first lane, and then the second lane you see, oops, there's a truck. So what do? Instead of stopping in one place, you keep going, to get to the other side of the road. Correct? So my question is like this. Does it count?
Before you continue, so you're pedestrian and you have red light, and then you're crossing the street and there is a truck and he cannot stop, but you continue going, right?
Sure.
Okay.
That's the case.
Okay.
So does that count as an avera or no?
I mean, if they so here's the thing. If you scare the driver, so he started hitting the brakes, so he's afraid to hit you. Yes, there is a way.
What if he honks?
If he's half a block away, I mean you're going to you have time to cross three times back and forth, right? Let's say so that there is no problem, but it could be Hil HaShem if other people watching.
That was what I was gonna ask. If it's Hil HaShem.
If they're watching and so I give you this example. For example, in Brooklyn, everybody will crossing like that on a red light. There is no car, no problem. But we came to Israel and nobody's the Israeli are very pushy, very I don't know, not very whatever. So basically everybody is standing. I look left. I look to the right. There is no car. Everybody said, I said to my maybe we should go. I said, no, we're going to, and we were standing, and then green light, and we crossed. So in this case, when there are many non-religious people, it would be Hil HaShem. Absolutely, don't do it. Don't do it. Go ahead,
Rabbi. Wait 1 second. Oh, so Hil HaShem is only if multiple people are looking, or if let's just say it's you and between one person, and let's just say if you yell at them and they're non-Jewish and you're Jewish, and they think bad of you, that's Hil HaShem.
Exactly. Yes.
Mm-hmm. All right.
So the difference, we didn't get to it, but Zrat Hashem, maybe we're going to get to it in another class, in Rambam's class. So that there is in some situation you're obligated to give up your life, not to do Hil HaShem. In other cases you're not obligated. So in this case, just don't do it. Even one person this disrespect, I saw it many times. When just cell phones just came out, right? And people were obnoxious with the cell phones, many years ago, right? And they was standing in line. In a supermarket, everybody pay, and he's on a phone, Jewish guy, and he throws her credit card, this black lady, and she's like, what? And she's trying to say like, do they have this like a club card or? And he's not saying what? He's not. It's like it's such. I push him a little. I say stop it. I say stop. Just talk to the lady. Stop this conversation. I was so like mad, unbelievable, because I mean this lady she gets the lowest salary possible. You understand? Trying to make your ends meet, and now this obnoxious Jewish guy with a cell phone. So in those days, the cell phone was like, "Woo, only for rich people," and he would talk very loud. That's not what we do.
So as far as I understood, so it's not an Avera, but it could be a Chilul Hashem.
Could be, yes.
I hear. But I thought Chilul Hashem was only in front of 10 Jews, no?
No. That's what I said before. In some situation, you're obligated to give up your life. So that's where they say in front of 10 Jews, yes, but not. But this even in front of one person, you have this janitor who asks you to wipe your feet before you come in after the rain, and people stop it. You know, that's big hill Hashem. All right, so we continue.
Yeah. Wait, a quick question. So let's say 5 Jews see it, but they take the Chavetz Chaim's advice and they judge the Jew favorably. It's not a Chilul Hashem then.
They would judge the Jew favorably. Okay, but in the maybe in this case, yeah, but it's very hypothetical example. Why? I'm going to tell you why. So I would say if 10 people would be in peace with each other, not the whole Jewish nation, 10 people, one minyan would be in peace, which is each other, respect, love each other, Mashiach would come. Okay, so far it didn't happen, as we know. So 5 people to judge you exactly as Chavetz Chaim said. Okay, we're not going to hold our breath, but let's continue. Zrat Hashem. I mean, one day it's going to happen, but it's okay. So continue. So we are in the end of this melach of reaping, right? And okay, so let's continue. So it says smell the fruit on a tree.
Okay.
So
What page?
Sorry. Page 284.
Understand.
284. Okay. Smell and fruit of a tree. Right. So as we said before, we're afraid that this guy is going to pick apples or whatever fruits, because he would think that they're ripe and okay. So let's see. Okay, smell and fruit on a tree. The sages prohibited smell and fruits growing on a tree because one may inadvertently pick the fruit in order to eat it. I mean, it's okay. However, one may smell flowers while they attach to the ground, because doing so is not lead to the picking them, since it is unnecessary to pick flowers in order to smell them. Okay, so I would say with flower, maybe it's when they're roses and they're on a high bushes. So I mean, you just bow your head a little and you can smell. But if they like smaller flowers and they're very low, okay.
Right.
So basically, just one second, let me just conclude. So flowers, they say no problem. Fruits, problem. Go ahead.
If, let's say, someone were to cut a fruit, let's say while it's still on the tree, I don't know, a banana, something, right? Does that count as a malacha or no?
Of course, 100%. Yes. 100%. Okay. So continue. Riding an animal. Riding an animal on Shabbos, even in a private domain, is prohibited. The sages fear that one may break off the branch from a tree while riding in order to use a switch to spur the animal. So that's very famous question. So why are we not allowed to ride animal? So if you ask many people who never learned this answer, they would not know. It's not logical. I mean, it is logical after you know the answer, but before you learn it, it's not what was the word I'm looking? It's not self-understood. So basically, why? Because the guy would break a branch and he would use a switch. for to guide the animal, basically. That's the reason we're not allowed to ride it. He would thus transgress melacha of kotzeira, meaning reaping. Therefore, they equated the prohibition of riding an animal with that of climbing a tree, with some minor differences. So, as we said the last time we learned this book, so we said climbing the tree. Why? Because he might break a branch or leaf, right? That's the prohibition. Including the prohibition of riding an animal is sitting on it, right? Or placing one's weight on an animal, so like lean on an animal. Right? Also included in this decree, in using an object that is attached to the animal. For example, it is forbidden to sit on a wagon that is pulled by the animal. Okay, so all of these things basically are forbidden, because same as I say, they draw the parallel, like the same, you cannot sit on a tree because it might lead you to break off the branch. So same here, you're not allowed to sit on an animal or even lean on an animal. Same you're not allowed to lean on a like young tree. So if it's old, like I don't know, 50, 60 years old tree, it's not going to move if you just because you lean on it. Okay. Next one, 8, touching a tree. Touching trees. Although one is permitted to touch a tree or to lean lightly on it, the halacha differs regarding the plants which delicate or brittle stems. Right? Since these plants break easily, it is forbidden even to touch them. So all of these gentle plants, don't touch them. Okay, continue. Fruits that falls from the tree. Fruit that falls from the tree on Shabbos is forbidden to be eaten until after Shabbos. So I mean, you saw there is a delicious apple on a tree, so just leave it there, right? So it fell, so you're not allowed. So it's not attached now, but since it fell on Shabbos, you're not allowed to take it. One of the reasons for this prohibition is that using such a fruit on Shabbos might lead a person to pluck fruit from a tree on Shabbos. So commentary, and we're going to explain. Another reason is that the fruit is muktzah, because it was not fit for eating during the Bein Hashemashos period. See muktzah practical guide, page 54. Okay, so let's try to explain it before we continue.
Rabbi, question.
Yeah.
So as we said, the Rabbanan, we need one doubt and you're allowed to do something, correct?
Okay.
So over here it says the last sentence, this prohibition applies even in situations whether it is uncertain or not the fruit fell from the tree during Shabbos, right? Now, this is uncertain.
We didn't get to the sentence yet.
Oh, we did. Oh, okay.
Okay, so let me. I'm on the first sentence. I mean, from the top. So I want to explain reasons. So I'm going to read again. Explain. One of the reasons for this prohibition that using such a fruit on Shabbos might lead a person to pluck the fruit from tree on Shabbos. So meaning the guy sees that it's about to fall. So he was standing next to the tree and it was windy. Okay, and he was standing 5 minutes, 10 minutes. He got annoyed. So maybe he's going to reap now. That's the issue. That's one explanation. So second explanation, there is a muktzah. So muktzah, B'ezrat Hashem, we're going to get to that book also. But muktzah is a thing that something was not usable for Shabbos before the beginning of the Shabbos. Like during the twilight period is where it was not available. Why? Because in this case it was attached to the tree. So that's I think the explanation. The second explanation. Last sentence. This prohibition applies even in situation in which it is uncertain whether or not the fruit fell from tree during the Shabbos. So why? So we said that there is a why if we have doubt we go stringent, because we don't know, maybe it is muktzah, and the first explanation, and second explanation, so the person, like would not, like if we say it's not allowed, period, it's not allowed. So if you didn't take it before Shabbos, it's on the floor, you're not allowed until after Shabbos. So for sure he's not going to go to this garden, right? There is no use for him, and he's not going to pluck the fruit. That's the basic idea. So don't put him in that situation that he might be tempted to reap the fruit.
This is a Durabanan, and we're not certain if it fell from the tree.
But the Rabbana, that's what I just explained. So the Rabbana, because we are afraid that he's going to pluck the fruit. Yeah. So, but here, that's how I explain it. So that's we say there is no reason whatsoever for you to go to the garden, to orchard. There is no, even if it's fell, you cannot eat it anyway. You cannot take it.
But
you understand? So, but if he would go, he said, this apple is even better, and if it's going to fall, it's going to ruin. So let me just touch it, just see. Maybe it's going to fall soon. Yeah, you understand?
Okay. Kind of. But then I have a problem because number one, let's say it fell from the tree, right? And I knew it fell from the tree. Number one, that's a Durabanan if I pick it up. Correct? We agree?
No, but Rabbanan said don't do it. So I mean that's and we explain the intention.
Exactly. But that's one gzira, right? That's one offense, correct? Then there's a second fence. What's the second fence? Is even if you're uncertain, right? But doesn't that count as a gzira for a gzira, and you're not allowed to do a gzira?
No. They just give you explanations, two separate explanations for exactly the same thing. Mm-hmm. So basically, Sage said you're not allowed, period. And there were several explanations why you're not allowed. So you can whatever you like. I mean, two of this explanation apply. That it was muktzah, and you would not be tempted to take. So, but any way you look at it, so you're not allowed to touch it. So that's what Sage said.
Understood.
Okay, so let's go. Zrat Hashem, we're going to finish this melacha today. Zrat Hashem. So we go to number 4. Sorry, practical applications. Plucking fruits and vegetables. Picking the fruits and vegetables. Picking the fruits and vegetables on Shabbos violates the Torah prohibition of melacha of katzer. So basically, if you read, so that this so we go back to the David's question. So reap the fruit, it's biblical, right? And sages built that fence and said, don't even touch, even if it fell by itself. That was basically rabbinic fence, and for us to protect ourselves from transgressing this biblical prohibition. That's, I think, a good example.
So two questions off of this.
Okay.
The first is very simply, for this, is there, let's say I take it off with my left hand, right? Is it also deraisa? Let's say I'm a righty, I take it off with my left hand.
I mean, it's okay. So if it's deraisa, if you, I mean, let's put it this way: it is deraisa, but you're not going to get a death penalty.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the difference.
I hear. What's it called? And number two, how do you know? Let's say just going off of general. Let's say there's a principle, and you can tell me the principle. I know how it is. So let's say something is the normal way of doing something, right? But how do I know if picking the fruit off the tree is normal or not normal? Because sometimes people use their right, sometimes they use their left. How do I know? For example, the pen situation, right? We said, oh, you're not allowed to write even with your left. Why? Because it's not that unusual. You have to hold it in an even more different way, right? So how do you know what counts as unusual?
Okay, so unusual, the way that people don't do it. If for example, you came to the apple tree and apple is not too high, and then you beat it with your teeth. So in this case, it would be unusual. No, people don't do it.
Does it?
For example, you you hit the branch, for example, it's not too high. You kick it with your foot, and the apple fell. So it would be unusual.
Do you get an avera by going into the Rabbanan? I'll give you a perfect example. For example, this tree, this fruit that fell onto the ground, right? Let's say I pick it up in a very unusual way. How? I pick it up with a fork, right? I'm in an area of, I pick it up with a fork, poke a fork in it. Now, does that count as an avera or no? Because number one, it's a Rabbanan to, just pick it up in the first place.
But it's as we said, so they said that the picking of okay. 1 second. So let me say exactly. They said that the prohibition of Rabbana to pick up the fruit forbidden to be eaten until after Shabbat. So maybe you can pick up. So even if it's muktzah, so we say even if it's muktzah, so muktzah in this case would be allowed to move it maybe like in a direct way. So you push it with your foot, right? Or as you said, you push it with a fork or whatever, right? Mm-hmm. So maybe it's not violation of the muktzah prohibition, but you're not allowed to eat it. So that's another issue. I mean, why would you do all of these things? Maybe if you're not to eat it, you're not allowed to eat it anyway.
Mm-hmm. I understand. So basically, it's not a problem. Let's say doing a durabanan with another durabanan, right? A durabanan in an unusual way, it's not a problem.
Yes.
Understood.
Yeah, okay. Yes. Okay. But okay. So continue. B, removing growing beans from water. So with beans that it has all of the roots, right? Shoots all of the roots. Okay. It is forbidden to remove beans or seeds from water after they have taken root. Basically, because we reaping them from their environment. Okay. C, extracting sap from tree. It is forbidden to drain sap from tree on Shabbos. Draining sap is considering uprooting it from the source of the growth. So even though it's like liquid and stuff like that, but we don't do it, right? So it's also in halakhically it's considered to be uprooting. If the tree was taped before Shabbos, the sap that flows out on Shabbos is on Shabbos forbidden as muktzah, but it's understandable. So I mean, even if you put, I think they put like metal things like inside. Into the tree and sap like oozes, I guess, or the word is on Shabbos flows. They say the word flows on Shabbos, so it is muktzah because it was not there before Shabbos. So that's, I mean, we're talking about muktzah if it's not our subject, but we have idea. So it was not ready to be eaten before Shabbos, so now it's you're not allowed to eat the whole Shabbos. Okay, next one, D. Running through the tall grass. Okay. Some poskim prohibit running or walking quickly through the tall grass because it is inevitable that some grass will be torn out or ripped out while running. So, as we said before, it's like obvious. Because this tall grass is not as soft as a low grass, and it's going to get broken.
Right. For example, I gave you that example before that let's say there's a fly, right? Then you hit the fly or whatever, and then it dies after Shabbos, okay? But because of your action, it counts as curse, because the action of, hitting the fly or whatever was done on Shabbos, okay? Now, my question is like this for you. I'll use the tall grass example. Now, obviously, with any living plant or whatever you want to call it, when you stamp on it, whatever, it gets less nutrients, it dies sooner, so on and so forth. So why doesn't that count as a problem? Because the action was done over here, then it's going to die sooner afterwards. The fly was also going to die afterwards. And
okay. So the issue with the fly, so with the fly, so it's I don't think we got to this milacha. It's a milacha of shkita. So we're not allowed to kill. I mean, we didn't get to it. So we're not allowed to kill. right? And it says you're not allowed to kill in any way. So in this case, you injured the fly, as you said, right? It's not going to die right away. So it's, I would say it would be rabbinic because you didn't kill. So shchita means that you kill completely. So, but still, to curse the fly is not allowed. And how is it compared to the tall grass? The tall grass is going to break. I mean, once the piece is broken, it is dead basically. So I mean, it's I think I see what you're saying, the parallels. I mean, see, this is prohibited rabbinically. Of course, the effect is not right away, as we understand. It's going to take some time, but it's inevitable. It's going to happen.
So, question. It's about shchita. It's going to be very, very quick. So, let's say I kill it in a non-kosher way, right? Let's say I have a deer. I can kill it in a non-kosher way, right? In which it now feels pain, correct? Because it's
no. The melashka of shkita is we cannot kill. Period. It doesn't matter kosher, not kosher way.
Understood.
And kosher animal, not kosher animal. That's why we're not allowed to kill flies. I mean, nobody's going to eat flies. They're not kosher, but we're not allowed to kill because shkita is a general prohibition against killing. So if God forbid we have somebody who is sick, like and his life in danger, so we're allowed to do shkita and kill like chicken or slaughter chicken for him or meat. Well, okay, continue. Walking upon flowers. It is forbidden to walk on flowers whose stems will inevitably break off while walking on them. So as you said before, I mean, this flower is never going to recover basically. If grass is more flexible and it's going to recover, but flowers, that's it. It's broken, it's broken. Okay. Okay, so H. Removing garments from a tree. It is forbidden to remove a garment from a tree. There is no difference whether the garment was placed on a tree during Shabbos or prior Shabbos. Therefore, if one is placed a hat on Shabbos onto a tree, so I mean, a person without thinking, like automatically, tree or bush, which is taller than 3 tefachim, may not remove it on Shabbos. However, one may request a non-Jew to remove the hat. Similarly, if ball got stuck in a bush, it is forbidden to remove it on Shabbos. Furthermore, it is forbidden to remove a garment from a hook suspended on a tree. So let's try. Okay, go ahead.
So I know we said the halacha that let's say there's something hanging off of the thing that's already hanging off the branch, right? So basically, it's removed by one. Let's say I have something in the pocket of the jacket, right?
Exactly. So in this case, you would be allowed to.
Correct. So my question is like this. Let's say I have the jacket right on the branch or wherever it's hanging, and I have my hat on top. I'm allowed to take the hat off?
No, but how the hat is hanging there?
No, very simply. Let's say you have one of these like a stick, right? You have a stick. You put your coat over it, and then over the coat you put your hat on top as well.
Oh no! So head rests independently on that stick. So that's I mean there is no difference. So here the first example that you gave, it's clearly so. So this nail, this hook, right? This nail in a tree is a side of the tree. So this jacket is using the side of the tree, but the book that in your pocket, the silver in your pocket, it's side of the side. So it's double level removed. So you're allowed. So the example that we gave, right, was that there is a tree. There is a hook in a tree, and there is some these things, metal thing that connect, and you have a hammock or you have this swings. So now it's double removed, and you're allowed to use it.
So it has to be double removed, not one
Double,
removed.
no.
So if I have, sorry. So let's say I give you the example. I thought you agreed with me. Where let's say I have something inside the pocket of the jacket. I'm not allowed to pick that up, or am I?
No. Only if it's a jacket or is on a hook, on a nail.
What if it's on a branch? Not on a branch.
No. It's 100% a tree.
Understood.
So basically, the things happened, and okay. So it was very windy. So the guy was outside, and it blew his head off, and it got stuck in a bush. Right, so we told him you're not allowed to pick it up. What do you mean? Said, but how come I'm not going to leave? Okay, but don't argue with me. Like I'm just telling you, it's in a tree. You're not allowed to take it out. That's it. You understand? So okay, so continue. So let's read it one more time because I wanted to explain a few things. Okay, from the beginning. H. Removing garment for a tree. It is forbidden to remove a garment from a tree. Okay. As we saw, you put your jacket on a tree, you're not allowed to remove. There is no difference whether the garment was placed on a tree during Shabbat or prior Shabbat. Okay. Therefore, once placed a hat on a Shabbat, on a tree or a bush, which is taller than 3 tefachim. 3 tefach, we said approximately 3.5 inches. Approximately 3.5, 4 inches. Okay. Tefachim may not remove it from Shabbos. So for our friend, 3 inches, 4 inches. No, 3 Tefachim. What was it? 3. It's like 9 centimeters, I guess. No, more than no. Well, we're going to do calculations later. Okay. Therefore, if one placed the hat on Shabbos onto a tree or a bush, okay, so he cannot do it. Okay. However, one may request a non-Jew to remove the hat. Okay. Similarly, if the ball got stuck in a bush, it is forbidden to remove the ball. So that's it. It's got stuck, you're not allowed. Furthermore, it is forbidden to remove a garment from a hook suspended on a tree. So here's so it's double removed. So you have a tree on a branch. You have a hook. You have a nail, right? And there is a garment, your jacket hanging there. So you're not allowed to remove the jacket, right? But the third level removed, meaning something in your pocket, you're allowed to remove.
Is the jacket considered muksa at that point or no? Because how can I take something out of the pocket? Obviously, I'm going to touch the jacket, or because it's not my intention to touch the jacket.
You're right. So our clothing and our things that you need for shower, for example, dishes, they never muktzah. So even it's a summer, it's July, and you the warmest weather that you have is not considered to be muktzah.
Mm-hmm.
But if you want, you can technically wear it. Okay. So continue. Next one, placing garment hats on a tree. It is forbidden to place garments, etc., on a tree on Shabbos. Furthermore, it is forbidden to place garments on a hook, which is suspended from a tree, as we said before. Right? The prohibition also applies to bushes taller than 3 tefach. Okay. So next one, J, swings, hammocks. One is permitted to play on a swing, which is indirectly suspended from a tree. It is suspended from hooks that screwed into the tree. So first you screw in hook, and then you suspend this what is it? This swings, right? Provided the swing was set up prior to the Shabbos. Of course, we don't do it on Shabbos, and the tree will not shake when the swing is used. Okay, maybe for little kids, or it's very strong tree basically. Similarly, one may use a hammock, provided it is indirectly attached to the tree. So it's the same idea through the hooks. However, if the swing is directly attached to the tree, meaning with the ropes, right? One is forbidden to use it on Shabbos. Okay. Continue. Okay, climbing a ladder which is leaning against the tree. So all of this, as we said, like last time or the time before that, there's 3 houses forbidden. It is forbidden to climb up a ladder which is leaning against the tree. Furthermore, it is forbidden even to place one's weight against the ladder. So, okay, so I think it's clear.
I have a question here.
Go ahead.
Ladder, that's a muktzeh object for Shabbos?
No. I give you example. You have in a kitchen cabinets, like above the cabinet, you have storage, for example, right? So you can set up the ladder and you can climb and get whatever you need. There's no problem.
And opening water bulbs and closing them is that forbidden?
I think yes. Say it again.
Water bulbs are forbidden.
Water bugs?
Valves. Valves.
Oh, water valves? No, why would it be forbidden?
Yes, the one you turn right or left to close or open the water flow.
No. Sorry. So you're talking about that you have like in a kitchen, right?
Yeah. Yes.
So why would it be forbidden? You can drink water. You can wash your hands. Why are you saying it's forbidden? Like outside, it might be forbidden. Like outside, because you're going to water the plants, it would be forbidden. But otherwise, no. Why?
What if it's a water spigot, like what's on the side of the house where you turn it on for like a hose or like stuff like that?
Okay, so I mean, but understand, the problem is not with the valve. The valve is not.
It's the plants.
Exactly, that you're going to water the plants. Exactly. So Israel, that's what you meant? That's what your question, or?
Yes, because the example is here. I have the water heater that requires is kind of broken and requires several adjustment many times to make it working. So I have to open, close again, open.
But here the different issue now. Okay, one of the 39 melachas, we didn't get to it. We did not, right? I don't think we never learned about cooking.
Because I hear also that you are not even.
One second, let me explain. So you're not allowed to cook. Well, what is cooking? That you heat it. Whereas something like, let's say, water in this case, to the temperature that we call Yatz Ladas Bo. Yatz Ladas Bo, when you touch, for example, you touch a pot and your hand recoils. So it's not very hot, it's not boiling hot, but it's pretty hot, right? So basically, we're not allowed to use hot water on Shabbos, right? Why? Because how the heater works. You open your hot water, right? So you wash with hot water. Let's say even if it was warm before Shabbos, right? You have some container that this water is stored, correct? So you open the hot water, but the cold water comes in from the street, and this water start cooking. So the problem is this hot water or with cold water being cooked. Not with using hot water, but indirectly when you open the faucet, the valve, right? So you're going to start cooking this.
Yes, for that reason, I started to close the valve before Shabbos, so no more water enters to the heater.
Okay. That's this would be allowed, yes.
Okay.
So what he's asking, but you see, in my case, it is dangerous. So because if all water is going to run out, first I'm not sure if it's going to be pressure, if the water is going to go up. You understand? There is no pump in there, so there isn't the water going up from the basement, right, up to your sink, because there is a pressure. So new water comes in, fresh, and it pushes old water from the tank. So if you're going to cut supply of new water, I'm not sure if all of this hot water is going to go out. I don't think so. Like physics, right? Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So continue. Okay, so let's continue. Leaning against the tree and tying shoes. Okay. It is forbidden to lean heavily against the tree in order to tie with one shoes. The definition of leaning heavily is see on page 279. So just to remind us what is leaning heavily, that the tree is going to move. Wow, over time. Okay, so I actually in that order, it's actually I think it's a perfect place to stop. So next melacha, we got to the next melacha, gathering. So you cannot gather things. So we're spread out, you cannot gather them together. Okay, so now we're open for questions. Any subject, whatever you want.
I have Albert first.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Okay, let him go.
Two things very related. Oh, him?
Okay.
Wait.
No, okay.
Oh, okay. So, Shemona Ezra, right? I know you're allowed to pray with a minion, let's say Kaddish or something. You're allowed to answer from another room because you hear Kaddish, right? But
Yes.
does the same apply to Shemona Ezra if I'm davening Shemona Ezra?
No. Okay. So when you pray in Shemona Esrei, you're not allowed to answer. So what you do, for example, you're a little behind. They got to Kiddusha, you just stop and keep silent. And as we learned before, we have this rule. If you're listening, it's like you're answering. It's when you just listen attentively, it's like you're saying it yourself, basically. So you just listen to Kiddusha, you stop for, I don't know, 15, 20 seconds, and then you continue with your Shemona Esrei.
I agree with you. My question was like this. Just like you can answer Kaddish from a different room, right? And it'll count as if you're a part of the, minion because you can hear it, right?
No. Okay, two separate things. Let's not mix being part of the minion and answering from a different room.
No. I'm saying like this. I'm saying, can I daven Shemona Ezra in a different room and still count as part of the minion?
It depends. I mean, did we learn about? Okay. I'm not sure if we learn about. I think we did in the Shulchan Aruch, in the Kitzur. So if you're different room, you're not part of the minion. How are you part of the minion? No.
No, you're not part of making the minion, but adding onto the minion, you are. No.
I don't think so. No. It has to be 10 people. They have to see each other. We learn all this. No, it's not.
Correct. That's the first 10 people. The 11th, 12th person can be outside of the room.
No. He's not. Part of the minion is, the 10 is a minimum requirement to call it a minion. But other people we use exactly the same word. So the minion meaning like a collection of the people, like group. That's what we also call minion. But you're right. We use minion for 10 people separate, minimum requirement, and all of the people that consider part of this minion that it can answer Kiddusha, let's say, and amen, and counted and can be called to the Torah.
Understood. Okay, that's all.
Okay, next one. Okay, go ahead.
Yes, here I had a question about you can about the heat what water heater. I am able to turn the thermostat, turn it off, so it will not the only flame that it will remain will be I don't know how to call it. It's a minimum flame.
Pilot light. You see, here's the problem. I'm going to tell you what's the problem. So we said that we're not allowed to cook, right? We're not allowed to cook, and so meaning what is going to be cooked. So this new water that comes in is going to be cooked by old water that was there before. I give you example. I think it's a good example and it's very practical. So, for example, you want to drink tea on Shabbos, right? You want to drink tea.
Oh,
so,
yes, that was a later question about the tea and
so
the
I
breakfast.
think maybe it's a good question. And you wash and you just rinse your cup, right? It was maybe dusty, maybe whatever. You just rinse your cup in a cold water under the sink, right? And now you want to pour like hot water from this kettle, right? From this urn, right? So what is it? Here's the big problem. These droplets, right? These droplets that in your cup is going to get cooked by the hot water. So what we do, we take the towel, we wipe all of the droplets, so the cup is basically dry, and then we add the hot water. Otherwise, these droplets are going to cook. So exactly if you turn the thermostat off, the first water comes, it's going to be cooked by old water because it's majority.
So I was wondering how a breakfast on Shabbos, because I heard that Sephardi have a custom, Ashkenazi another.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
Right. Okay. So how to have breakfast on Shabbat? So basically, if you want to warm food, so that there is a way to warm the food. So we keep something like you keep the stove on the whole Shabbos. If you have the gas stove, that's what we have for them, and we cover it with a sheet of metal. So we cover it, and then we put food on top. Whatever is allowed, it's. You asked me a very big question, but I'm skipping details. Just give you like highlights, right? So whatever is allowed to be put. For example, here's a huge difference: Ashkenazi this way, Sephardic this way, like totally different. So for like Ashkenazi custom is much stricter, like 10 times, a million times stricter than Sephardic. Okay, so they do it this way. These people do it this way, but basically, so whatever is allowed to be put on black, so you can warm up, and then you can eat. So for Sephardic people, I give you the like highlights of the difference. So they say there is no cooking after cooking. So once you cook the soup, for example, you cook the soup, you can put it on a blech and it can warm up, no problem. For Ashkenazic, absolutely not. So we care about forget about soup, even about droplets, right? When you put something in the refrigerator, you take out the cover, the lid, there is droplets. Agree? So I mean, there was no water, like you had like a piece of chicken. So we have to wipe off these droplets, make sure put it in different container, dry. We don't want to cook, basically. So that's and we're not going to cook. Ashkenazi custom not to warm up any food with liquid. So whatever liquid has, we are not going to warm up. So technically, chicken with gravy, we're not going to warm up. You want to. That's why the cholan comes in. You want to keep it overnight, no problem, because it was overnight. But this like slow cooker. Whatever these guys send you as the slow cooker. So we keep it slow cooker if you want a hot food, or you warm up whatever is allowed to warm up. Something dry without any, like all of these like cereals, right? Buckwheat, whatever rice you're allowed to dry. There is no moisture in rice, right? It's dry. You can dry chicken, okay, without gravy, meat, whatever. Spaghetti, like pasta, also there's no liquid there. You can warm up.
I heard that, and I'm not sure if it was Ashkenazi or Sephardic. They use 2 or 3 pots that they put one to another.
Yes. So it's I think it's I'm not sure if Sephardim do it, but basically we're not allowed to. So whatever, even we're allowed to warm up, it cannot resemble the ordinary way of cooking. Meaning what? You have first of all you cover the flame. Flame is covered. Then you put like inverted cup, inverted pot, like upside down. And on this pot, you put whatever you want to warm up. So what we do these aluminum containers, right? The disposable containers, put it upside down, and on top you put whatever you need to warm up. So for sure, any onlookers say when they see that nobody's cooking like that, nobody. So you show your intention. I just want to warm up. I'm not interested in cooking. So it takes a little longer to warm up. I agree, but that's what it is. Yes.
So any piece of metal will do the job for a Sephardic custom to put in between the flame and the product.
Yes. Any.
Because I have kind of a sheet of, it's not so thin, of it is for dry bread. You put this thing of metal in the flame, and over that you put the bread to dry.
It's a perfect thing to do.
So that
as a people they use they call platter. The platter is like to keep the full warmer. Okay, well, whatever you want to do. I mean, we doing original way, doing with what is it? With this metal sheet. Okay, or go ahead.
Oh yeah, the food platter, they call that the hot pot. You basically plug it in and just heats all the food up.
Yes, but there are different kinds. So some comes with a regulator when you put it can regulate the temperature.
Yeah.
And some comes without one. So the most preferable is without one, because that's your intention is not to cook. You understand? But with that one, with a regulator, I'm not sure how hot it can become, but basically you maybe you can even cook.
I have a last question about gas heater. Here it's too cold every time. Are you allowed on Shabbat to regulate the heat of the room, of the gas stove?
Okay, so the best way if you have thermostat. So if you have thermostat and it goes like automatically, there is no problem whatsoever.
But if not, you are not allowed to make variation of the flame intensity.
So what the thing is, what we do if needed, so we can ask a non-Jew to turn it on. Why? Because it is they call it pikuach nefesh. It's the danger to life. As we know, the low temperature, like when it's cold, people get sick. So it's for sure it's a danger to life. So they would allow it, but as how the Jew would do it, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I mean, Baruch Hashem, we have all of this automated and goes by itself. But in olden days, they have this non-Jew, and it was like his job. He would go from house to house and fire all the stuff, and they would pay him. Like the people would he would work basically for free, but people would give him gifts. Basically, you're allowed to give gifts, right? So okay, that's how it's used to work. But today, I mean, if somebody is clear danger, you're allowed to start the fire, basically. Okay.
Question. So I know that I read from the Kitzer that let's say someone's sick, and let's say he needs something to eat, so you're allowed to give him non-kosher food. But if he's sad, right, that you serve him non-kosher food, you're allowed to serve him kosher food, right? You're allowed to chef the cow and slaughter kosher food, right?
So they actually said it's funny that you brought it up. So they say, what is if he's sick and his life is in danger, so get him this non-kosher piece of meat from your neighbor, right? And it's going to be ready. Why would you go to and slaughter the cow, and it's going to take so much time to kosher the meat and stuff like that, drain of the blood, skin, okay, the whole ganze Meise, right? The whole big deal. So let's say, even though you're right, you're allowed to take this non-kosher meat when it's a life and death situation, right? But if it's not that urgent, if you think that he can wait, so you're obligated to actually to check the cow from the beginning, right? And give him kosher food. And the reason is, it's very simple. Even though you're not allowed to eat not kosher food is going to stain your soul. It's going to stain your neshama with this not kosher food. You allow it 100%, but it is going to be side effect. A side effect is unfortunate. Yeah.
So my question is like this. You can think in your head, big deal, kosher, non-kosher, person's life risk. Okay, you can wait 5 hours. Let's not even go life risk. It's a malacha. It's an extra malacha on Shabbos. Okay, I'm going to do a malacha because he doesn't like a pig instead of a cow. Doesn't matter. Pikuach nefesh, that's all that matters. So why do I still get the ability to slaughter the cow and do a malacha just because he's going to be sad?
Okay, so basically when person's life in danger, right? So we have to do whatever is best for him in this situation. Yeah, you understand? So if doctor said that you must give him now, right? Feed him now, and you decided to be a bit tzaddik and not upset him and start shechting the cow. You saw that you only saw like in the books how to do that, so that's not proper. Yeah, you understand? So we said if there is a possibility that maybe he's sleeping now, and just I just want to give you the highlights. So after they check the cow, they drain the blood, they salt it, and Shulchan Aruch says, or Rambam at least said, I think from 12 to 18 minutes, the meat must be in salt, right? And then you can read. So you wash the meat, you salt it, right, for 12 to 18 minutes. Let's say 18 minutes, like let's say 18 minutes, right? And then you rinse again, and you can cook it. So to say that it's such a long process, you cannot. So if people, for example, they have their own cow, they can check it right away, and let's say to give it to this person, or and it's going to take, or chicken. Chicken is easier, right? So you did this chicken thing, and in 1 hour you have this ready chicken. Even under 1 hour, it's like in 40 minutes if you move quickly. So basically, you just have to estimate the situation. Can he wait, or should he not wait, or or risky, or your hands are shaking? You understand? Because you're too nervous, so you're going to give him a tray of food anyway. So maybe it's better to give as soon as possible. You understand? So I mean, it's not simple answer. I mean, we have to always take his best interest in mind, not what I want to do. I don't want to make this spot not kosher because I'm going to cook pork. Okay. Any other questions? Or you're quiet today? No? Okay. So we stop here. All right. So thank you very much. So until tomorrow. Tomorrow we're going to B'ezrat Hashem learn different subject. Right.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Good night.
Good night. Good night.
Good night. Bye-bye.
אני מברך את הרבנים, רגע, אני מברך את הרבנים, הרב ירון ראובן, הרב אפרים כחלון, ראשי ארגון בעזרת השם, שהלכו בפי עליון, שעלו מעלה, יהיה להם ברכה והצלחה, הקדוש ברוך הוא ימלא בישועות ליבם לטובה ולברכה, שבכל מה שיפנו ישכילו ויצליחו, יזכו לעשות כאלה וכאלה, הודיעו תורה לאדירה, אמן ואמן.
בעזרת השם רשת בכל הארץ. הוא היהודי הזה, הוא היה מיליונר, סגר את כל הביזנס, אמר אני משקיע פה בעולמה של תורה.
איפה הוא גר?
בפלורידה.
פלורידה, איפה זה פלורידה? באמריקה.
במיימי. כן, ליד. אנחנו שם עכשיו הולכים להקים קהילה ספרדית.
חזק אותו בשמי.
קהילה ספרדית גדולה.
תעבירו מה שבירכתי אותו.
כן, קהילה ספרדית גדולה.